Hi everyone, welcome to Unprocessed Mac. In this lecture, I'll be talking about the average values of functions and the mean value theorem of integration. So, given a function f, the average value of this function over an interval ab is defined to be the integral of this function over that interval multiplied by 1 over b minus a. And notice that b minus a is the length of this interval a and b. So the average value of the function f over the interval a and b, again, it is simply the definite integral over that interval divided by b minus a. Let's see an example. So in this example, we want to find the average value of the function sine x over the interval 0 and pi. So using the formula, the average value is going to be 1 over pi minus 0 multiplied by the definite integral of the function sine over the interval 0 and pi. 1 over pi minus 0 is equal to 1 over pi, and using the fundamental theorem of calculus, an antiderivative for sine is minus cosine, and this needs to be evaluated between 0 and pi. Now, if you substitute x by pi, this is what you're going to get. And notice that cosine of pi is minus 1. And if you substitute x by 0, this is what you're going to get. And again, recall that cosine of 0 is 1. So we have replaced cosine of 0 by 1. And if you simplify this, you're going to get 2 over pi. So the average value of the function sine over the interval 0 and pi is indeed equal to 2 over pi. So let's try to understand what this 2 over pi means. So this is the graph of y equals sine x over the interval 0 and pi. And the average value is 2 over pi. So that's what I have drawn here. This is this horizontal line 2 over pi. And so notice that in parts of this interval 0 pi, the function is larger than 2 over pi, and in some other parts, it's lower than 2 over pi. But on average, you can say that this function, on average, equal to 2 over pi over that interval. And the mean value theorem of integration tells us that if this function f is continuous, then there exists a number c inside the interval so that the average value of the function becomes equal to the value of the function at that point c. Think about the grades in a classroom. This is the mean value theorem of integration tells us that there's a student in this class whose grade is equal to the average of the class. And this is not always the case. In the case of the grades in a classroom, this may not be true because the grades in a classroom is a discontinuous function. But if you have a continuous function, then the mean value theorem simply tells you that the average of that function is going to be the value of the function at some point inside the interval. Now, let's look at the previous example. In this example, so you see that there are 2 points where the average value is equal to the value of the function. So we have, in this example, there exists points inside the interval where the value of the function is the same as the average. So here we have 2, and the mean value theorem tells us that there has to be at least 1. And this finishes our discussion about the average values and the mean value theorem of integration. For additional practice, take a look at section 5.4 of the Apex Calculus 2 textbook. And for any additional help, check out mathematicians.com.